Welcome back everyone to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. Now, today I'm once again failing to deliver on my upload schedule of uploading every Monday at 7 a.m. PST. It's nothing but my fault. I had a week off for Thanksgiving. I managed to not do a thing. Anyways, as we head down to the sign wall here, I just want to thank you all for the absolutely tremendous support on the last episode. You guys are awesome for that. Oh right, and before we get into the sign wall, I just want to mention I apologize for any background noise. Now that it's winter, it's starting to get a bit cold, so you might hear some buzzing in the background. So first up, we have Oculus, and then we have Mateo Lion SK, Smurf71, I Not Physics, Quiz 2020, CC the Crystal Ball, Steve Dumb, Snail Badnick Enjoyer, Quadrilige, Diamond Beyblade, Zero Lency, Critall, Will McNally, and finally, Diggin. An absolute huge thank you to these 14 people for watching until the end of last episode. Seriously, I cannot thank you guys enough for the support on the recent episodes. And you know, I have even more good news for you guys. I just bought a new microphone. It was on a Cyber Monday deal, so I couldn't resist it. I recently just bought the HyperX Duocast, which for only the $50 I got it is a pretty decent upgrade from my current Blue Yeti. So yeah, I'm happy to announce to you guys that we'll be getting further audio improvement in the next couple of episodes, hopefully. Another thing, off camera, I've been looking into Better Than Adventure a bit, and I have actually learned that I can get something called nether coal from the nether. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's like coal, but in the nether. And using nether coal, I can actually craft a blast furnace. Like, you know, the same blast furnace sort of thing that's in the modern game. Using a blast furnace, I can smelt my iron ingots into pieces of steel or something. I forget what they're called. Once I get those little bits of steel, it's sort of like netherite, where you put it all together and eventually you get steel armor and steel tools. It's in similar quality to that of netherite. It's better than diamond, basically. I honestly did not know this about Better Than Adventure for a while. I kind of forgot about steel. I knew it was a thing, but I didn't know it was such good armor and how overpowered it was. So I do think that I will eventually be getting that in the next couple of episodes. Today I wanted to do something simple. I'm going to be giving Mario here his old little partner, Luigi. Because we built the classic NES Mario up here, I'm thinking right next to him or right aside him, I'm going to build Luigi as well, but in a different pose. I've searched up some different pixel art and looked at classic pictures of Luigi, and I've gathered some materials to use to build him. So for the brown part of him, I'm actually going to be using dirt just like I did with Mario. The same with his skin color, I'm going to be using orange because that's the same thing that I used on Mario. But for the green, I'm actually going to be using mossy stone. Obviously, these are toned down pixel arts. I don't want super bright ones right up the top of the hill like that. But I do think Mario finally needs his partner, you know? I haven't walked up to the top of this mountain in so long that I forgot how to get up there. But I think this is the method I previously used. In order to have the space for Luigi, I think I'm actually going to have to flatten this down by another level. Because I'm going to put Luigi on a stone platform so that he has something to stand on. Yeah, I think after flattening that, I have enough space. Now the question is, when I'm building Luigi, which way do I want him facing? Because he could totally be facing the opposite direction. You know what? Screw it. Let's make them face opposite directions. You know, a few days ago, I was watching through some of my old episodes, you know, episodes like 1, 2, and 3, and I was just thinking about how much progress I've made. Oh my god, it just had to start snowing. Minecraft hates me, I swear. You know, it's starting to look like Luigi might end up taller than Mario. Hopefully he isn't. And I was worried this would happen. I have ran out of orange wool. Of course, when it's getting late and I'm low on time, I can't get any sheep to spawn in. So while I'm looking for sheep here, one thing I want to mention to you guys that happens a lot to me is that I find that for the most part, I only have the motivation to make videos on the weekend. During the weekdays, even though I have plenty of free time after school for the most part, I find myself really drained after school, so I often just plop down on my bed and do almost nothing except for homework. Don't get me wrong, I want to make these videos and I will continue to. It's just that for some reason, my motivation to make videos is like solely during the weekends. How come these Minecraft mobs never spawn when you actually want them? Alright, after about 15 minutes of being stupid with my time, I have acquired another 45 orange wool. Luigi is definitely one hell of a dude. Now the question is, where do I build up to him from? Maybe right here is best. And with that, Luigi is officially finished. I couldn't tell from up there if Luigi was taller, so I came down here. I may have underestimated Luigi. He's shorter. Or maybe he's about the same height. But the point is that he's so much smaller than Mario when it comes to pixel count that he's literally just dwarfed and not even recognizable. Whatever. If you made it this far into the video, comment Italian in the comment section below. I was going to have you guys say Luigi or Nintendo, but to be completely honest, I'm absolutely terrified of Nintendo, so I probably won't be mentioning their name once on my channel because they're absolutely terrifying. Anyways, welcome back everyone to another episode of... What the hell was that? It must have been a recording bug. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. Sorry, I don't know what that was. I just want to mention that today's episode is sort of out of nowhere and not really planned out, so I apologize for that. Anyways, let's get right into the sign garden. First up, we have Oculus. Then we have Crit Hall, CC the Crystal Ball, Steve Dumb, William McNally, Snail Badnick Enjoyer, Quadrilige, Zero Lency, Quiz 2020, Mateo Lion SK, and Luke X. A huge thank you to these 11 people for watching until the end of the last episode. You guys are always amazing. Alright, now on to what we're doing for today. First and foremost, I want to head over to the Nether. And the reason for that is because I want to start gearing up with steel. In order to do that, we need to get some nether coal. Believe it or not, I have actually already headed to the nether and collected some nether coal off camera, and the reason for that was purely just to explore and discover. I got around 2 stacks of nether coal here and here, and I also had enough to build 2 blast furnaces. Alright, I'm gonna head this direction. It has been a while since I went to the nether, so I'm actually super nervous. So this is nether coal. Basically, it looks almost the exact same as coal, except it's glowing like this, and kind of looks like if you mixed coal with magma. Alright, I've not been completely honest with you guys. Off camera, I actually already made steel. I got really bored and I got carried away, so I really didn't have to go to the nether. In fact, I already have steel gear that I can upgrade to, so I'm actually going to go over there and we can upgrade to that. As you can see here in my valuables chest, I've put my steel armor on, so now I can actually wear this. Now what I'm going to need to do is actually take some of this iron and make even more steel so that we can get steel tools. Yeah, not gonna lie, today's just a quick episode. I really don't have too much planned. I'm going into this completely blind. I'm actually going to end up getting really busy now over the weekends, since over the weekends are going to be the main times when I can edit and record, and I'm now running 2 series at once, Foundations and Better Than Adventure, but I will be keeping up with Better Than Adventure and Foundations. I'm not gonna quit either of these. Better Than Adventure will be every Monday, and Foundations will hopefully be every Saturday. So that's 2 videos a week for you guys, and then the occasional project as well. So 2 to 3 videos a week for you guys at normal, and then also the YouTube shorts that I post every now and then. Now, if you don't know, this is how you make steel. It's 3 crude steel, 1 steel ingot. I've been wanting to ask this for a while. Do any of you guys watch anime? If so, what is your favorite anime this season? And what is your favorite anime of the year? My favorite anime this season is probably Frieren Beyond Journey's End, because it's just really interesting. And my favorite anime of the year is probably Oshinoko. Alright, we have 15 ingots, which means I should have enough to go and craft a few things. And that's it. We have full steel tool and steel armor now. It's really weird to see the darkened out look of steel. It's definitely different from the normal diamond. I'm gonna stash my diamond away. You know what I forgot? There's such thing as steel shears as well. Steel shears. These should be much more helpful than our normal shears. Alright, now we have full steel gear. We have steel armor, steel tools, and steel shears. Now this is truly feeling like a modded Let's Play instead of just vanilla beta. Alright, now I'm trying to think. What should I build this episode? I really want to build in the nether, but I don't have any ideas for that yet, so I would appreciate if you guys give me some nether build ideas in the comments below. I could build a sort of cliff house up there that's like on the edge. Riding the railway for the first time in a while. Look at us go. And then I thought the cherry planks would make a good base here. Yeah, this is a very colorful house. Okay, well it's getting dark, so I actually have to head back. Holy crap, we just rode by a creeper and that was terrifying. So this cliff-based design is actually a design I used before in one of my older survival world videos. And it's a design by Grian, so all credit for this design goes to Grian. I just thought it was a really good design, so I would use it again here like I did in that video. And there it is in all its glory, the finished cliff house. Now, I probably want to build a few more of these. Like, I probably want to build one over here on this flat area. It'll probably even work better than this one right here, which I had to do a bit of terraining. Kind of similar to how I need to build another one of these. There's actually still a lot of these that I need to build more of. It's already been enough time that unfortunately I have to end it here. I know I didn't do much, nor did I go over much, and this episode is probably only like 5 minutes long, but that's going to be it for this episode. If you made it this far into the video, comment Cliff in the comment section below, and I will put your name in the sign garden in the next episode. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. Today's the first video with my new microphone. That's right, my HyperX Duocast arrived yesterday, so today's the first video in which I'm recording with it. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. Not only that, but I've actually recently switched editors from Shotcut to CapCut. So now I can do slightly more advanced edits and make my videos just that much more higher quality for all of you. Anyways, let's get right into the sign wall. First up, we have Mateo Lion SK, and then we have Oculus, Smurf71, Quadrilige, Critall, Snail Badnick Enjoyer, Quiz 2020, Zero Lency, and finally, Steve Dumb. Huge shout out to these 9 people for watching until the end of last episode. You guys are awesome as always. Right, so today I actually have something planned. I want to build the Going Merry from One Piece in Minecraft. In order to do this, I'm actually going to be following a tutorial, which I will be linking in the comments and in the top of the description. However, I did have to make a few changes from that tutorial because we're in beta Minecraft. And so you'll see what I mean, but I'm just really excited to get right into it. So without further ado, I'm actually going to already head over to that area since I've collected the materials off camera, and I'm going to get right into it. I apologize if things seemed a bit rushed this episode. That's because they are. Unfortunately, it's finals week, which means I'm going to be really busy with all of this. Not only that, but I'm now making Foundations SMP episodes as well as episodes of Better Than Adventure. Oh, okay, my boat just ran away from me. One of the materials we obviously need in order to build the Going Merry is going to be wool for the mast, and that means that these guys here are going to be really helpful. I've been collecting as much wool as I can since we're really low on it ever since building that previous trade ship. So yeah, every single time I see a sheep, I make sure I shear it just because we're really low on wool, so any amount of wool counts. I think sooner or later I should really make a sheep farm and possibly even a pork farm as well, because those are two very important resources that I constantly run out of. Almost 1.5 stacks of wool plus red wool, that should be enough. Now we gotta sleep real quick. This tutorial that I'm following is an absolute masterpiece, by the way, so if you want to build the Going Merry in Minecraft, check it out. It has occurred to me that I have severely estimated the amount of brown wooden planks we need. This does mean that I have to go and grab more. Unfortunately, brown wooden planks aren't anywhere near me, so I actually have my own little forest here that I planted from when I explored. But that does mean that getting brown wooden planks is both easy and frustrating. Easy because it's so close, but frustrating because it means I have to replant it. That's a lot of sheep. Why now? I spent over an hour before this video collecting wool, and now all of a sudden all of these sheep spawn? I think I've collected enough wool now. And I have a question for you guys. Would you like to see more anime builds in Minecraft? Because I absolutely love doing them. It's really cool bringing them into Minecraft. You know, now that we're this far into the video and I'm heading towards my bed because it's dark out, I actually want to ask you guys real quick, have you even watched One Piece? And if so, how much of it have you watched? I myself have watched every bit of it, but I'm not gonna lie, it's so long that I can't even remember a lot of it. And I will have to admit, there are some arcs in which I skipped or just watched summaries of because they were just too long. Anyways, I know that One Piece is one of the longest, if not the longest animes, so it's understandable if you haven't seen any of it, or if you're too scared to watch it because it's too long. However, if you're hesitating to watch it because it's too long, don't. That's what I did, and I regret doing that because this anime is just awesome. I started watching it in like 2017, but the reason before that I didn't watch it until then was just because I was worried that it was too long. It's long, yes, very long in fact, but that doesn't take away from how good of a storyline it is. Wow, just look at how much of the Going Merry has already formed. Pretty much all we need now is the deck and the mast. Just built the little anchor. I think that looks pretty good as an anchor. I had to kind of wing it for the anchor because the one in the tutorial uses a bunch of blocks I don't have access to. Oh man, just look at that. You can't tell me that doesn't look like the Going Merry already. Okay, well, I just tried to use the flag to draw a skull and crossbones, and you can see that that is how it turned out. I think we can tell that I'm not a great painter. Wow, okay, just look at that. I know the flag, the pirate flag, the skull and bones thing didn't turn out very well. However, from far away, if you combine it along with the red and white back mast like that, it honestly looks pretty good. Oh, come on. It had to start snowing. Why is it always the snow? The snow always ruins my base. And not only that, but the snow is not good for thumbnails, so when I need to take my thumbnail picture, I'm gonna be burdened by snow once again. The snow also messes with my video bitrate. I really hate the snow. If you guys know of a way to turn off the weather without turning off cheats, please let me know. Okay, well, the ocean is starting to freeze over too. That's not good. I'm trying to look for my boat. I don't know what happened to my boat. I think the snow just made my boat disappear. This is weird. This entire area is about to be frozen over. Yet another reason for me to hate this winter season. Of all the seasons in the game, the winter season is the absolute worst. I just want it to stop snowing, man. Look at the ice starting to form. I have to just ditch my boat here because I can't bring it to shore because of the stupid snow. After 2.5 hours of building, we are finally done. I can't believe I've finally done it. I built the Going Merry in Minecraft. You guys have no idea how long I've wanted to build this thing in Minecraft. This entire ship has been built, and it's pretty well scaled, honestly. The tutorial was amazing. If you made it this far into the video, be sure to comment Mary in the comments below, and I will make sure you make it into the sign garden in the next episode. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. It's currently nearly 10:30 at night, so I apologize if I'm a bit quiet today. Unfortunately, I kind of forgot to record today. I've been very focused on Foundations SMP, and I apologize for that. I shouldn't be prioritizing one thing over another. First up is Oculus, and then we have Mateo Lion SK, Diamond Beyblade, Steve Dumb, Crit Hall, Patchy MC, Snail Badnick Enjoyer, Zero Lency, and finally Quiz 2020. Once again, a huge thank you to these 9 people for watching until the end of last episode. You guys are awesome as always. So, today is the second Better Than Adventure episode with my new microphone, and the first one with a pop filter. So hopefully the audio is just a little bit better. Unfortunately, it's currently 10:30 p.m., which means that I have to be a little bit quiet as everyone is asleep. I'm doing this super late right now, mostly because I honestly couldn't think of what to do this episode because I needed a small project that wouldn't take too much time. Today, I want to get done with the lava tower idea that we came up with a while ago. I mentioned a while ago when I built that one over there that I would build a second one next to it. And so that's what I want to do today. In order to do that, we're going to need our water and lava, so I'm going to get a few of that. We're also going to need cobbled basalt, and we're going to need a lot more than that. Looks like I need to go collect more cobbled basalt. Do you guys ever get a random urge to watch a lot of old Minecraft parodies and Minecraft songs? Because that's what I've been doing recently. I have been watching a ton of old Minecraft parodies and songs while mining. Stuff like Screw the Nether, How Do I Craft This Again, Diggy Diggy Hole. Okay, a lot of Yogscast. I've also rewatched Fallen Kingdom and a few others. I've just been rewatching a lot of the classic stuff that I used to watch as a kid, and I've been doing it while I go mining or doing any Minecraft grinding content. Diggy Diggy Hole is my favorite right now because The Longest Johns did a community version, and let me just say, if you haven't seen it yet, you definitely should. To hear a modern rendition of a song like that from my childhood was just insane to me. And you know, when I go to these music videos, these old ones that are like 10, 11 years old, and I sort by newest, I can still see comments from like 30 seconds ago. So clearly I'm not the only one that really loves to do this. I didn't even realize this until recently, but Martin Littlewood, you know, Martin, the same guy that plays the live series with Grian in him, was actually a Yogscast member, and he's the one who's saying, "How do I craft this again?" It's kind of crazy to me how much of my childhood Martin made up without me even realizing it. And now I watch him today with Grian's life series, which is just incredible. The world really is a small place. Recently, I've been trying to adopt a different way of recording. See, normally what I do is I just record in straight, really long, like 2 to 3 hour sessions for every one of my videos, including Foundations. But this time around, for Better Than Adventure and Foundations, what I'm trying to do is make use of OBS's pause feature so that I can just pause the recording and play it again when I want to record something. And I'm doing this so that not only can I save space on my computer while doing this, but it makes it so much easier to edit when the file isn't just a 3-hour-long video. So yeah, let me know if anything seems different or improved. Of course, I also recently switched to CapCut. Lots of new things at the end of the year here. We're going to be starting off 2024 strong. Speaking of, I do have a winter/Christmas special coming up, so I really hope you all enjoy that. And of course, there will be the yearly recap that I do every year. Alright, now we're here. This should be about a 50 block tall tower. It goes all the way up like that. Basically, what I want to do is build another one directly next to to it right here in this empty space. For now, what I'm doing is I'm clearing out this dirt section here in case I change my mind. Alright, so I'm kind of just eyeballing it right now, but what I'm aiming for is right about here where I've placed this block. This seems about right, so I'm gonna go with that. Right, so as I build up here like this, I just want to have a quick talk with you guys. So basically, I've run out of ideas to build in Better Than Adventure that aren't too grand or too hard to do in short periods of time. So I need you guys to give me some small build ideas that you think would make my world just that much more lovelier. And if you have any of them and I build them, I will credit you. Just some simple build ideas would be nice. Anything is great. I'll just be looking in the comments below. Right, moment of truth, let's place the lava. I haven't done this in a while, so I hope I did it right. There it goes, all the way down. Now we're just gonna have to kind of sit here and wait for it to spread all the way down. Boy, lava flows a lot slower than water. It's still not all the way down, and it's starting to get dark. Alright, I think it finally finished. There it goes, all the way down. Hopefully I did it right. Otherwise, there goes a huge waste and a big mess that is going to be really hard to fix. You know what I just realized? I don't have a torch to put at the top here like I did that one. Oh well, we can at least say we finished. Wait a minute, I don't even have some of that to put at the top. Oh well, a cobblestone will have to do. Okay, now I need to try to water bucket clutch. I failed that clutch. Anyways, after I failed that clutch, I healed myself and then I went to sleep so that I could see the build better. It looks like we lined it up properly, luckily. Now all I need to do is fill in the holes that are gonna be all around this thing because for some reason, Minecraft Beta is just like that. And patch the holes. So now that we're finished patching the holes, I'm gonna replicate what we did with this here. Right, so I finished that. Now, all I need to do is put a bridge between these two so that I can connect them. That's kind of what I want to do next. Great, so I built a sort of bridge intertwining the two, and while I think it probably could have been a bit better, the bridge, and it probably could have been risen a bit more, it still looks okay. Right, so I was originally going to name these towers the Twin Towers, but then I realized that's probably not a good idea. So will you guys please give me a name for these two towers in the comment section below? Thank you. And with that being said, that's going to be it for this episode. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and comment finished in the comments below because I finally finished what I had planned here. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and a very happy holidays. I apologize that this episode is a few days late. That was because of the holidays. I've actually been so busy and so tired recently that I'm recording this at 9 p.m. again. Yay. Also, you may have noticed, but I've switched up my armor set so that I can max out these stats the best possible. I found that having a steel chestplate and diamond everything else works best. Alright, let's get into the sign garden. First up is Smurf71. Then we have Oculus, Crit Hall, Steve Dumb, Snail Badnick Enjoyer, Diamond Strider, Zero Lency, Quadrilige, and Mateo Lion SK. A huge thank you to these 9 people for watching until the end of last episode. You guys are amazing as always. You know, I think I should eventually reward the people that have appeared multiple times on these signs like this, because there's definitely some repeat names, and these repeat names are very, very, very dedicated, and I'm really grateful for you guys. Anyways, today I'm going to be trying something new and different. Today I'm going to be building a submarine as suggested by Mateo Lion SK. Now, obviously, because we're going to be building a submarine, it's going to be yet another underwater build. However, this time I want to build it over here in this area, since this area doesn't get much love. I'm also going to be trying a different technique for building underwater this time around. Normally, I just kind of go underwater and wing it, but this time around, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making use of gravel. You can also use sand. Alright, so I've got this little platform here, and I also have a platform underwater here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work above water using blocks that fall with gravity, and I'm going to be trying, when I build on these here, to basically build the inside. So once this falls onto this platform down below, I can build around it and build the submarine from there. I'm not sure how much easier this is going to be than just building it normally underwater, but I thought I might as well try it at least once. If you've never tried this technique, basically what I'm trying to do here is make it so that all of the inside of the submarine will be filled with gravel, and then I can just build around the gravel on the outside, forming the submarine, and then I can just break the gravel on the inside and I won't have to use any sponges, and hopefully it will make building this entire thing a lot easier. Well, that certainly took a lot less gravel than I was expecting, but you can sort of see the shape of a submarine now. Okay, now here's where we start breaking the dirt underneath here and just letting it fall down. And there we go. We have the entire formation of the underwater. Alright, so now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be referencing everything to build this entire thing. This is going to be the hardest part, building underwater. And well, there's the submarine. It may not look like much, but I tried to make it look like almost a mix of a military submarine and sort of a normal one. It's sort of military-like in the fact that it doesn't have many windows and it's that dark gray color, but it's slightly more of a normal one in the fact that it has an entrance up top like this. And by the way, the glass trapdoor I haven't made much use of before until now. It is definitely nice to be making use of the glass trapdoor like this. But yeah, all in all, I think it turned out really cool if you ask me. If you ask me, it definitely looks like a submarine, even with the top poking out like this a little bit so that we know it's here. And I made the propeller out of this stuff, slate, which this is the first time I've ever used slate, and I think it's a cool block. Now what I want to do is I actually want to put a few things inside because we really haven't put much inside yet. Now I know I normally don't really decorate the inside of my builds, but if we go in here, you'll see why. I want to really put a few things in here because it's sort of empty right now, you know? Not much in here. And I would love to decorate it more than it already has. I'm thinking I'm gonna put a glowstone right here, gonna put some chests. I'm gonna make this look like it's almost like in use in a military sort of way, you know? I'll put a seat right here and then a few more here, and then I'll decorate it. And also, fun fact, this is a bit of a brag, but I've actually been in a military submarine before. It was an old one, but I've actually been in a real submarine underwater. It was in place, so it wasn't moving, but it was underwater. It was in San Diego. It was like some sort of museum. I think it was called like the Maritime Museum or something. They had a trade ship, they had a steamboat, they had a pirate ship, and they had a military submarine. And submarines are super cramped. At least that old one I went into was super cramped. So this kind of reminds me of that, you know, being super cramped, especially once we decorate it, you'll see what I mean. And it's really weird building a sort of submarine that I've been in. Like this might be one of the first builds that I've built that I've actually been inside of. Although now that I think about it, the trade ship that we built, like I said, that museum that had the submarine also had the trade ship, so I've also been inside of that before. I think I'm gonna bring some of this in there too. I'm not sure if I'll use it or not, but it can help with decoration. Same with the bookshelves. I'll keep some cobbled basalt on me. We'll bring a crafting table in there. I'm grabbing the blocks that I can, just trying to think like, what can I build out of this, you know? I think that should work. Yeah, look at that. You can kind of see it underwater in the distance with a bit of it poking sticking out like that. I think that turned out really well looking like that. Oh, and I actually owe you guys an apology. I didn't realize it, but the world difficulty actually spreads across multiple worlds. So that means that when I set my difficulty to peaceful in my creative test world and I logged on to here, it was also set to peaceful, which explains why we haven't ran into any mobs in a while. That was on me. I really didn't realize, I promise, that I didn't realize we were on a peaceful mode like that, and I'm sorry for cheating you all like that. But now I've set it back to normal mode, which is, I think, it is the difficulty that we started on, so I'm gonna leave it there. Although I will have to remember to set it back to normal again when I set it to peaceful in my creative test world, and oh boy, is beta Minecraft weird. Alright, first things first, I want to put this back here. It kind of symbolizes the core, you know what I mean? I think it works better like this. Now I need to figure out where to place this workbench. I'm going to place it here for now, and I'm going to actually craft some stairs. And I want to use these stairs up here like this. Now it kind of looks like it's holding it up like that, you know? Alright, now for the seats. It's going to take a bit of imagination, but I'm thinking there's the sort of control like that. And then 2 more passenger seats right here. Place some bookshelves around maybe. Thinking maybe I place this here. And then a bookshelf. More bookshelves like that. I want this to be very tight feeling. I want it to feel like this is being worked in. Like that. That works. I think that kind of looks like it's very cramped and worked in. Now I want to add more seats back here in the very back. I mean, rest in peace to anyone who ends up sitting back here, but there has to be some people, you know? This is kind of like a mix of a busy passenger ship and a normal non-passenger military ship, you know? Because you have the seat here for the captain and he's driving here. And then you have the 2, like, co-pilots or just 2 other important people here. Then you've got a bunch of workplace stuff here. Then more seats back here and a sort of core back there. I think that works. Although, wonder if I can add more to this. That kind of looks interesting. I'll go with it. And there we go. The very cramped and busy submarine that is very lived in, that's for sure. Speaking of lived in, I wonder if I can actually get a bed down here. Now there is a bed down here in the submarine for any person who wants to live in a submarine. In fact, I was thinking move them here like this. There we go. That means they just look a little more comfortable. Now I've also got some buttons. I put the final button on the glowstone here like this, just because I figured I could. And there's these here, these buttons right here like this when you come in. And then 2 more right here like this, just for decoration purposes. But now I feel like we've definitely outdone ourselves with the amount of stuff here. So maybe we went a little overboard. However, I'm really happy with how this looks, honestly. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. If you made it this far, comment sub in the comments below because I want you to subscribe. No, it's because we're inside of a submarine. My bad. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. Now, once again, this episode is a couple of days late, and I apologize for that. That is because I spent a lot more time on my 2023 rewind than I thought I would. So if you haven't yet, please check that out. So this is officially my first Better Than Adventure episode of 2024, and without further ado, let's get right into the sign garden. First up is Oculus, and then we have Smurf71, Patchy MC, Quadrilige, Steve Dumb, Matteo Lion SK, Sasquatch, and Zero Lency. Huge thank you to those 8 people for watching until the end of last episode. You guys are amazing as always. I've been thinking, with the amount of names here that are just repeats of previous names, I really need to do something to thank you all, so please go ahead and give me any ideas, any thoughts if you have any. Today, I plan to build Steamboat Willie's boat in Minecraft. If you don't know, Steamboat Willie was the first iteration of Mickey Mouse way back in like the 1920s, and he has officially entered the public domain as of 2024. A lot of people are making a big deal out of this since Disney finally lost their hand on Mickey, and while that's true, they only lost Steamboat Willie, not the rest of Mickey, so they really didn't lose much. Now I've been thinking, how am I going to build this? Originally I thought I should build it over here in this area. Then I was worried it would be in the way of episode 10, so I thought, okay, then we'll just have to build it right here. So I've created a little dirt area, and I think I want to start building it right behind the Going Merry here. It will be facing this direction, the same direction the Going Merry is facing. This is a steamboat, but this steamboat is going to be in completely black and white. And you know what? Let me show you. I just logged on to my creative test world. I don't know how this has happened, but somehow I have limestone on my face. Whatever sort of bug has happened here with the limestone, I'm gonna keep it because I think it looks really goofy. Anyways, this is Steamboat Willie's boat. You can tell that I tried my best to go for that black and white color scheme. There's nothing but like really a black and white theme going on here, and I'm really happy with it. I'm even very proud of the fact that I have the steering wheel here using an iron trap door. I placed down the lever like this so that it's facing like this. We have the actual like steamboat part of the Steamboat Willie here with this little thing that moves it along. I tried my best to recreate it, and I think it looks okay. I think the entire scale of this thing will look pretty good once it's on top of water. Overall, I think it's probably my best boat yet, and I'm really proud of myself for coming up with this all on my own. I mean, just look at it. So, I've already collected most of the materials needed for this. I have an entire chest for this stuff, actually. Now, I just need to actually build everything. Interestingly, this will be my first time using marble and marble bricks. I'm really excited to use that because I just figured out how to make it, and it is like the quartz of this version of Minecraft. Even though quartz exists, quartz in this version is actually kind of pink, so I really prefer marble. Alright, so I've got a couple of images, and by a couple, I mean a lot of images of that build in my creative test world, and so I'm going to use those images to try to rebuild it here in survival like I do as always. Gotta admit, I wish there was some sort of schematic mod for Better Than Adventure. It would save me a lot of time. I think I have the general shape of the front of the boat, at least this bottom part here. The one thing is because I'm building with stone like this, every single time I mess up, I lose a block, and it's gonna drive me absolutely insane. If you guys know of a way to get some sort of silk touch and Better Than Adventure, please let me know. Okay, it's now symmetrical on both sides. Now I'm going to see if I can build upwards from this. This is actually a lot harder than it looks, believe it or not. Now I just need the bottom two. The bottom two is going to be the most frustrating for me. You know, the more I build boats in this world, the better I get at building them. I've already built 3, and this is my 4th one. I think it's actually really cool that I've built so many boats in this world that I'm actually just getting that good at building them. And that's the final layer, so now I just need to fill this in. Cool, we didn't end up running out of stone. The base of the whole thing is now done. For the most part, what I'm gonna start with doing is just building blocks on top of all of this here. This is by far the easiest part of the build, just putting blocks, white blocks on top of here. Now the next thing that I did, put slabs on top of all of these here. Cool, it ends up just like that. Now I'm just gonna straight up build the inside of the boat here. There's our flag because Steamboat Willie's boat has a black flag at the front. Well, turns out I did underestimate just how many white wooden blocks I would need. So, I need to get more. This build might be one of my favorite ones yet, just because I really love the black and white steamboat design. And I love that I was able to keep it black and white like this. It also still keeps some of that cartoonish shape or cartoonish look, you know? Tell me, do you guys have a creative test world? Because I find that a creative test world makes building stuff so much easier. Just being able to mess around with stuff and see what turns out is super useful. I have a creative test world for like every version of Minecraft that I've played. Okay, we've got the smokestacks now. I'm gonna back up a bit, see if I made them tall enough. I think I did. Oh man, it started raining again. That looks like a decent amount of like storage behind, right? I mean, it looked like a bunch of boxes in the original animation, so I just assumed it was storage. All right, now's where I try to do the really complex design pattern I did for the paddle in my creative test world. It took me several attempts to get this design pattern, and I have no idea if I can even replicate it. That's how complex it looked. I think it goes like this on this side, and then on this side it's upside down. This side then connects with another upside down one, and then a right side one like that. And this side is the opposite. It goes like this, and then an upside down one right here. So I'm gonna place this here, an upside down one right there, upside down one right here, and then I replace this with a slab, and on both sides I do this. There we go. I think I've got the design pattern down. This side's the opposite, so it goes like that. Goes like this. and then like this. There we go. That's one paddle complete. Now I just have to go to the other side and do the same. Look at that. That looks really impressive, actually. It's actually recognizable as a steamboat. Now I think we can actually add a bit more life to it if I go ahead and grab cobwebs. Alright, let's give this thing some life. There we go, a bit of cobwebs, just add that bit of extra life to it, you know? Just to make it look like there's smoke coming out. Yep, it's official, this is now my new favorite build on the world. I mean, just look at this. The best thing about this build is that I built it myself. No tutorial and no help. Just based off my experience of building other ships, I was able to build this one, and that's incredible to me. And I think it shows just how much we've improved our building in these 21 episodes of Better Than Adventure. With that being said, I am now out of time for this episode. Comment public if you've made it this far into the video. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. Unfortunately, I've only got about 30 minutes or less to record this episode because I'm on a huge time crunch. My school homework was a lot longer than I thought it would be, and I also got very distracted very quickly, so it's all on me and it's my fault in the first place, and I'm sorry that this episode is late. From now on, because we're getting so many people, I'm actually gonna try to do 2 people per sign. So let's get into the sign garden. First up is Steve Dumb. Next up is Mateo Lion SK, and then we have Oculus, Quadrilige, Patchy MC, Crit Hall, Diamond Beyblade, The Desolator, Dazblade Aim, Zero Lency, and Snail Badnick Enjoyer. It looks a little bit wonky back there like that, but that's the best I could do without getting stupid and annoying nether portal sounds, which are super loud and aren't separate from the game sound, so it's super annoying. Anyways, huge thank you to those 11 people for watching until the end of last episode. You guys are of course amazing, as always. Today, I'm doing something a little bit different. First up, I'm trying to change up my recording style to be a lot easier to edit for Better Than Adventure, since Better Than Adventure is supposed to be my more chill and relaxed series. And I've got this to show you guys. This is my stone wall concept. Kind of because we have a village in here, I figured the village would have a protection wall, so this is what I came up with. I think it looks amazing, and I want to build more of it, which is why I have a lot more stone bricks here. As well as that, I've attempted to add a couple of benches around the village because it's just nice to be able to sit and chill somewhere. Oh god, that annoying nether portal sound again. I also put a couple of chairs in front of some of these houses. I still don't know what each one of these houses will be, but I do know that I want to add a blacksmith and a church and a fisherman's hut to this village. I'm thinking the fisherman's hut can be this house down here since it's by itself and it's near the ocean like this. And then the blacksmith can probably be one of these houses, maybe this one since it's in the middle. And then each of these other houses can be decorated with like rocks and just small things in the background. And then I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to fit my church. I've already built the design, but I'll figure that out next episode. Unfortunately, I do not have the time this episode. Here's a couple more of these benches. I put them under the tree here like this so that we can just sit and chill underneath the tree. There's another one here. Yeah, I just kind of added a few benches to sit around because I figured there's trees all around like this. They might as be like mini parks almost. I do want to build a park in this forest direction over here. Clear out some stuff in the center here and build a little friendly park that's not too far away from the village. Oh, and here's another one of these benches again. However, for the most part, that park is going to be outside, and that's because today I want to try to work on some fortifications. So I showed you this wall here, and I want to do more like it down here. You might have already saw the sort of outline I've started, and I also want to do more like it over in this area here and just sort of surrounding it. This cliff is going to be part of the village, so I'm not going to have a wall right here because I don't want a wall ruining the view that these houses have. However, I do want a wall down here that sort of encompasses this little area. Maybe we'll decorate this as a fisherman's hut, add a few more trees, and then up here we'll have a wall at the end here maybe, and just sort of encompasses part of the village for that bit of extra protection. Of course, it's not going to do much since most stuff can just walk right over it. It's mostly just for decoration and sort of to tell a story. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start down here. I've made it so that these need to be at least 3 blocks tall. And then what I do is I simply put a stair at the top like this, and then I kind of just range it from being 3 to like 4 like this, and then back to 3. Then I sort of just randomize the stairs, and I want this to look like it's one of those medieval fences that has a very random feel to it. I have actually done a wall like this before in a really old SMP I was in. I'm not even sure if there's any videos of me building a wall like this. I do know that I got this design back then, and so now I'm just trying to replicate it. Oh, and I'm sorry if this video seems very repetitive. I'm just going to be doing a lot of talking to make sure that I can chat with you guys. Let me know what you think of this wall here. I actually think it looks pretty neat, but I will take some critiques on it. I think that it can definitely be improved a little bit. I want to keep the general design though, so keep in mind if you're going to give me any critiques, I still want to keep the general look. It's totally random the way I build this. Like sometimes the stairs will face inward, sometimes they won't. I just want it to look like it's sort of a spiked stone sort of feel, you know? Give me some ideas on how I can decorate this to be a fisherman house. I need this to be a sort of fisherman's hut that's on the beach side. And also, if you have any, give me some ideas for a blacksmith to add a bit more, I don't know, like a bit more life to all of this. I think this wall looks amazing so far. This actually looks like it could be a decently fortified sort of wall. Being so time crunched has actually caused me to get a little more creative with my commentary, so hopefully this can lead to some fun and interesting stuff, maybe. Who knows? This one going like this. This one only being elevated slightly and going like that. Okay, well now my commentary is getting repetitive, so that comment I made earlier suddenly doesn't make much sense. That looks like a wall that could exist. Not exactly fully medieval looking, but it does look sort of like an uneven stone wall that I was going for. I want it to arch around and connect to this side, but I'll figure that out after I get this side down first. All right, let's see how this has turned out so far. Well, it is definitely looking bigger, although this part right here looks a little too drastic, so maybe I'll do a little bit of changing. Or maybe it should stay that way. Who knows? Once we add this bit of arch or connection here, it could look a lot better. What do we think of this? It looks like a wall. It looks like one of those walls. This side definitely still looks better to me. This side looks very similar, but it could use a bit of work. So I've been thinking it's 2024, and just recently I scored a new Oculus. I've been wondering if I should start putting a little more focus into VR and my VR channel. I'm a VR fanatic, if you don't know. I really enjoy virtual reality. It's definitely probably one of my biggest pastimes. I was running a 64GB Quest 2 since its launch in 2020, and I recently scored a 128GB for 140, so I consider that a pretty good deal. And I've really been like debating and thinking if I should get back more into VR content. I have a lot of VR content ideas, some stuff that could really grow my VR channel. If I do that, and I do try focusing more on that, uploads may slow, since as we currently speak, I spend all of my free time on my YouTube channel, pretty much. Or at least all of my free time thinking of my YouTube channel. So I really need to debate if I'm gonna spend even more of that time doing YouTube stuff, or if I should spend some of my time just relaxing, catching up on the anime I enjoy, and stuff like that. Speaking of anime I enjoy, on the Foundations SMP Discord, recently a poll was started for people's favorite anime. It's where I'm most active out of every Discord. Yes, that's right, I'm more active in the Foundations SMP Discord than I am in my own. So if you want to talk to me or any of my friends, then I would highly suggest checking out the Foundations SMP Discord over my own. My own Discord is actually over 5 years old at this point, so I've had it for a while and it's been kind of neglected. I don't have much to do with it. Like, I'd love to do more with it, but I can't think of much that isn't too risky or too hard for me to pull off, considering, like I just said, I don't have much free time already. I was thinking of leaving events and stuff to like my friends who are moderators on the server, but Foundations SMP also wants to do the same thing. And because I'm already pouring so much time into Foundations SMP, I think I would rather do it on there. So if you'd like to participate in any community events relating to my channel or just Foundations SMP in general, please check out the Foundations SMP Discord. The link will be in the description and it's in the top of every Foundations SMP episode. Looking from the outside, this wall doesn't look that bad on its own. This part still looks absolutely amazing. And this side looks like it continues it and is sort of the randomized falling apart slash spiky stone wall look that I was going for. So with that being said, I am out of time for this episode. It has been over 30 minutes. If you made it this far into the video, comment wall in the comment section below. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. Today we're doing yet another small project. This time around we're doing the church that I mentioned in the last episode. If you're wondering, the reason that I'm having to do smaller projects is mostly because of time. Now that winter break has been officially over for a week now, I've realized that I really don't have much time to do all of this. I'm juggling two series at once, both Foundations and Better Than Adventure, and I can't do grandiose builds anymore. I have to go more smaller scale and make more progress off camera because I just can't do larger builds anymore. So with that being said, let's get into the sign wall. First up is Oculus, then Patchy MC, Mateo Lion SK, Sota, Merv71, Dazblade, Steve Dumb, Snail Badnick Enjoyer, The Desolator, Love Dust, and Crit Hall. A huge thank you to these 11 people for watching until the end of last episode. You guys are amazing as always. Right, so as I said in the beginning, today we are going to be getting into building the church that I mentioned last episode. This church is another original design of mine. I kind of just tried to think of a classic village church, not a classic Minecraft village church, more like a classic medieval village church, like the ones that I've seen in some animes. In here, I've gathered all the materials that I thought I would need, and I've built a platform over here. The terraforming still needs some work. Right now, it's just a basically large flat pyramid. However, right now, the main focus is the build that's going to go on top of it right here. I had to build my own area here and cover up the area that's beneath here, and that's because I literally couldn't find anywhere I could fit this church in this village. By the way, I still need some ideas for the different houses. If you have any, I would appreciate them in the comments below. Right, so with that being said, I'm going to get the stuff that I need to start building. Starting here, this is the door, and this is the side. If you're curious, right now I'm looking at my reference image that I took in my creative test world. This is going to be a very frustrating one for me to build, mostly because even though it's a mirrored image, I've still made it really odd. I kind of winged it in my creative test world, kind of getting the foundations to start with. I keep forgetting that for this stuff I need to commentate. Honestly, even though we're building more in this episode, this video is going to be a rather short one, and I apologize for that. You know what? With just this part laid out, you can actually kind of see how it's a church, which is kind of funny because the more I add to it, the more and more it'll look less like a church. As it gets dark here, I'm actually reminded that there is a bed right over here because this is one of the many inns that we built in the village. Oh, and if you didn't notice off camera, I switched back to the diamond pick for now, and that's not because the other one broke. That's just because I realized this one was much faster, and with the amount of time I have right now, I figured it'd just be better to switch back to this one. There we go, that's the first window. Then it goes like this. Kinda ironic that I'm referencing my own design more than I am any of the tutorials that I followed. Have to admit, this is still really hard to build though. Like, I'm sure I made this a lot more complicated than it needed to be. My god, is this really confusing to build. Alright, now this is where it starts getting recognizable as a church. This is what makes it a church right here. Most classic medieval churches have some sort of cross at the top, right? So it kind of makes sense that this one would right here. You know, I don't know how I did it last episode. Last episode I managed to get enough commentary in 30 minutes for a 9-minute video. This time around though, I'm only managing to get enough commentary in for maybe a 5-minute video, so I'm really sorry to you guys. Hopefully I can make it longer somehow. Not exactly sure how I'll do it, but I'm sure with some simple black magic editing it won't be too hard. Okay, now's where we get into the walls. That actually wasn't too complicated to cover. Now we've got the sort of outside done. I always think of churches of having a lot of windows, so if you're wondering, that's why I've added so many windows in here. I sort of tried to use the stone brick as a foundation and the cobble as a main thing. I could have made it out of wood like I did all of these houses, but I just felt it was right for the church to be made of cobble while the houses were made of wood. It just feels like a churchy sort of thing, you know? The way I made the roof of this building is very odd. I'm not exactly sure where I got the inspiration from this, just sort of how a roof for this sort of thing comes to mind for me for some reason. I'm also not exactly sure how high up I went, but I believe it was this high. I've got everything that I need to build right here, and yet every single time I always forget to grab something. So while I build this, the only thing that I have on my mind right now is anime, because I found this random anime that I spent all day watching. And yes, that does mean that I'm once again recording this video pretty late. I spent all day watching this anime about this guy that was kicked out of the hero party, but it wasn't like a normal kicked out of the hero party and then proves himself to be OP sort of thing. It was more like he was kicked out of the hero party and then he built an apothecary. An apothecary? Anyways, he built that. We can use what's left of our brown wooden blocks here to make stairs. There's always one block left over whenever I make stairs. It really annoys me. Always one spruce block, one wood block. It's always one block left over because it's an odd number. Looking at this from the front, it's looking like a church so far, at least to me. I might be a bit biased, so let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this looks like a church so far? Also, let me know if you guys have ever been to a church like this. I know a lot of people nowadays that are religious, if at all, go to more modern churches. But have you ever been to like a really old-fashioned church? There's that side of the church done, this part of the church is done, and this part of the church is done. It's not exactly the most appeasing looking church, and it took me a lot less time to build than I thought it would. However, I do think it turned out well. It definitely looks more appeasing from this angle than it does from the front, I have to say. From this angle, you can almost tell that this is supposed to be one of those small churches. I've now officially crafted a door. I think I want to make the inside, want to make the floor just wooden planks. You know, the church has a very dark basement underneath it, now that I think about it, that I didn't really take into account when I was gonna build this floor here. I guess if you guys have any ideas for a church basement, maybe let me know in the comments below, because there is a huge empty area here hidden underneath all of the terraining that I did to build this church here. So yeah, if you have any ideas for a church basement or interesting thing underneath the church, let me know. I know that a lot of animes and fiction in general, they always put something in the basement of a church. I also wanted to start making the chairs. Yeah, you know what? The more we walk up on this, the more I think it looks exactly like how I thought it would, so not bad. But we will have to do something about this. I think this will just have to end up being a facade. There we go. That looks like one of those things that a pastor would stand in front of. And then what I'm thinking is I'm gonna put the stairs here. I overestimated the amount of materials I would need to create this, honestly. There we go. That should work for lighting. So with that being said, that's going to be it for this episode. I've unfortunately ran out of time. I'm sorry that this episode was so short. If you made it this far into the video, comment church in the comments below. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. I owe you guys a massive apology once again. You know, that's just kind of becoming part of the intro at this point, but this one's actually really warranted. Instead of a video being late, I just straight up did not upload last week, and I'm very sorry for that. I don't exactly have a reason. It's probably the best I could say is just because of motivation. Hopefully, I'll be trying to get out 2 videos this week, and if you haven't seen it yet, I'm also trying to upload a couple of YouTube shorts. They're really easy to make, but I find them funny, like Newman Ultramicroscopic Silicovolcanoconiosis, for example. If you haven't seen that short yet, go see it. Normally, these names are all organized well, but we've got some empty signs in these random areas here, so I'm gonna have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. and then move over to here, and then finally here before we run out of room on this floor, and we have to move on to the next floor. And with that being said, let's get into the sign garden. First up is Motio Lion SK, and then we have Crit Hall, and then we have Sota, Steve Dumb, Oculus, Patchy MC, Snail Badnick Enjoyer, The Desolator, Joe L Offers, new name by the way, thank you for watching, and Z Love Dust, Quadrilus, Village, and finally Zero Lency. A huge thank you to these 13 people for watching until the end of last episode. You guys are obviously amazing as always. Last episode actually made it into the algorithm, and that surprised me. I woke up one day to check my analytics app on my phone only to see that the video had jumped from 80 views to over 200. It slowed down right after that, but still, to any of you that are new and watched the video, thank you very much. I probably killed all of that off when I didn't upload last week, but whatever. Right, so today I actually want to build a steel factory as suggested by CC the Crystal Ball, and I'm going to be building it over on the island in the distance over here. It's not rendered right now, so it'll take a bit. But a while ago, I asked you guys what I should build there, and CC recommended that I build a steel factory. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be basing it off a tutorial which I will link in the description below. This is technically not my design, so the tutorial will be in the description. Here we go. Here's where I plan on building. And my boat just ran away from me again. You can see that the rail ends here, the underwater rail that heads in this direction, it ends right here. That's because I have nothing to build over here, and nor did I have any plans. But thanks to CC, I now have an idea of what I want to build here, and all I need to do now is flatten this area out enough to build it. So if you guys are wondering, I've kind of been struggling recently when it comes to motivation, and that's mostly just because of my own fault. I've been lying to you guys, and I really shouldn't have done that. I kept making up excuses like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't find the time to do this or this. But that's not true. I, in fact, do have the time. I just spend my time watching anime and lying on my bed watching YouTube instead. Which, if you ask me, is not very productive considering that I'm not even finding the motivation to do my own hobby. However, I think it's good to take a break every once in a while, but what I'm doing is not just taking a break. I'm being straight up lazy. And it's not very healthy, I have to say that. I haven't uploaded a Foundations video in almost 3 weeks, and it's been a week now since my last Better Than Adventure video. I already broke my schedule, and I announced on the community post tab that I'm no longer going to be keeping that. From now on, I will no longer be keeping my schedule of uploading Better Than Adventure on Monday. I clearly failed to do that in the first place, so instead what I want to do is guarantee that I will upload at least once a week. Likely, it will still be Monday or maybe Tuesday. However, I can't say that for certain because I just don't know the circumstances of where I will be in the future. So what I can say is that I will just upload once a week. This week, I'm hoping I can get 2 episodes out if I sit here and I record 2 sessions together. It's getting dark, so I'm gonna chase down my boat and head back. I'm really glad that I'm finally building something over here. Normally, all of my builds are super densely populated in one area over here and a little bit right here. But recently I've been trying to expand a little bit because I have this giant railway system, but I never use it because all of my builds are located in one spot. Now, when I say steel factory, what I mean is I'm just going to build a factory build and maybe place some blast furnaces inside of it, and that's about it. I won't be making anything automatic. In fact, I'm not even sure if I can, but I'm not going to bother trying. So will I ever use this build? Probably not. But that's okay, some builds can just be decoration. So I've been talking a lot about anime recently in these episodes, and I have another interesting one that I found. I found a really old anime called The 12 Kingdoms, and I want to call it one of the earliest isekai that I can think of. It's got a very interesting plot idea, and definitely an interesting dilemma. Let me know if you've heard of it. This anime is older than me. I believe it said it aired in like 2003-ish. Hell, it's even older than Naruto. When I was reading the comments on Crunchyroll on that anime, people were freaking out that the Naruto run was in episode 1 of the anime because the anime released in 2003, which would make the Naruto run date further back than Naruto. Some nerd in the comments finally explained to them that no, the Naruto run doesn't come from Naruto. It's an actual shinobi run that dates back hundreds of years. There we go. This area should be flat enough for the build that we want. In fact, it should fit perfectly right about here in this area. Alright, I guess it's time to look into seeing if I can start building this. We're building the chimneys now. Now I build the other one parallel to this one. There we go, 2 parallel chimneys. You know what I just realized? I forgot one very important block that I'm gonna need to grab now. But before that, let's add in the windows. And I ran out of glass. Guess I gotta head back to not only grab that block that I forgot, but also to get windows. Alright, got the blocks that I needed to do this. The first thing I'm using here is a mesh block. I was hoping to use something similar to more of an iron bar. The mesh block was all I could afford, so it's what I went with. And there's the windows finished up. And there we go, there's our basic factory. And it's even got a bit of an inside in here. Now, this didn't turn out like a steel factory, and it's not the prettiest of builds, but I'm pretty happy with it because it was simple to build and I had fun building it. If you made it this far into the video, comment weak because I didn't upload a video last week. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. Today, we're actually not heading over to the sign garden because this is the first scheduled Better Than Adventure upload. That's because I owe you guys for last week, so I'm actually planning on uploading 2 episodes this week. Sure, both of them are pretty short. However, it's episode 25 and I want to build an observatory. I already have everything planned, so let's get right into it. I'm recording this episode right after the last one, so it is still raining and you can't sleep through rain on beta version of Minecraft, so I just have to deal with the annoying darkness and the fact that there's rain everywhere ruining my Minecraft bitrate. It sucks. I hate rain so much. I absolutely hate the weather in Minecraft. There's no point to it. Anyways, I'm going to be building an observatory up there. It's perfectly flat. There's perfect enough room for it. And the observatory is a pretty small building. So this episode will be rather short, once again. I know you guys don't very much enjoy shorter episodes, but I feel like I owe you guys, and I'd also like to appease the algorithm a little bit, so of course I'm gonna upload again. This one's pretty simple. There's our steel factory from last episode. I do think I need to adjust the height of the smokestacks a little bit, but besides that, it doesn't look that bad. It does look a little unflattering from certain angles, but it can still be recognizable as a factory sometimes. I've actually never seen our towers from this angle. They look pretty good. Of course, once I start hiking up this mountain here, it starts to get dark, so now I have to head back and I have to sleep. It does feel weird not going to the sign garden, but you guys might see this happen more often as I run out of ways to upload. I do think it's much healthier for my mental state if I start scheduling uploads more rather than constantly recording them the day before upload. Hopefully this build doesn't take me too long and I get enough commentary in for you guys to enjoy. Remember that this is supposed to be a very relaxed series, especially nowadays when I've started committing to just being a little more myself on camera. One thing I just realized is that I'm actually already forgetting a couple of blocks. Yay me. I know that these recent builds haven't been my best, especially compared to the Going Merry, Steamboat Willie's boat, a trade ship, and a Pantheon, but I'm still really proud of these builds and I'm glad I'm adding them to my world because it's just really cool to actually, finally, all of my life I've dreamed that I could do this, to have a Minecraft world in which I consistently play on and consistently build more to is just amazing. One of these days, I believe that I'll be able to do a world tour that's like over an hour long, you know, like some of the YouTubers I watch do, and that would just be my absolute dream. So even though these aren't the best of builds, they're still my builds, and I'm really happy with them. Alright, so this observatory is going to be built out of basalt. We've been using basalt a lot recently, but I still think it's one of the best building blocks for me to use. Yeah, I think this makes a decent base. Now I'm just gonna go up. I'm not sure how far I want to go with the base, but I think I want it to be a bit taller than in my creative test world, which wasn't very tall. Let's see. Is this about good? We'll go one more. That makes a good base, I think. Now we're just going to... Now I go inwards like this. The base of this actually reminds me a lot of the lighthouse we built a long time ago. And that's I guess that's just kind of my style when it comes to building anything that's tower-like. What I wanted to do is build a iron door for the entrance, which is, I think this is the first time I've used an iron door for the entrance. And then we will have a lever on either side, even though if we don't use the lever on this side, it's not going to be able to close now that I just realized that. Oh, wow, okay. This might be a little bit of a stupid design. An observatory doesn't need to look like it's a full tower, but it also doesn't need to look like, I don't know how you say it. It doesn't need to look like it's hella short either. I'm not aiming for a tower look with the observatory, but I also don't want it to look super short. This will be the base of our roof. I'm gonna see if I can build the roof out of only blocks. That could work. And then right here is where the observatory part can pop out. It's getting dark, but I feel like I can at least push it to its limit here by building, like, what will it look like when I do this? This might be my worst build yet. Like, this might be the build that I'm least proud of when it finishes, but oh well. Alright, definitely pushing my limits. It's way too dark now. I need to sleep. You know, I was getting to think, what would this world look like if I had shaders? Because, you know, on Bedrock Edition, I choose to use ray tracing because I just think it looks nice. And I know the beta version of Minecraft, the normal beta at least, actually did have some shaders. That's when shaders first started popping up. So there's some old shaders available for beta Minecraft, but none of them work for Better Than Adventure. So I was starting to think, what would this world look like with shaders? If you guys know if there's any shaders I can use with Better Than Adventure, please tell me. But as far as I'm aware, there isn't any. It would be absolutely amazing to see what this world looks like with shaders on. I know that the shaders in this version of Minecraft were a lot buggier and a lot uglier than the modern version of shaders. But I still think it would be really cool to look at the water and look at everything that I've built and be like, wow, this is what it looks like with shaders. And take some screenshots, you know? I'm gonna build a rim around the observatory here. You know, since I'm building an observatory in this video, I guess I should ask you guys, have you guys ever been to an observatory in real life? I know I haven't. I mean, I've been up to where that one in LA is, that famous one, but I've not actually been inside of it. It was closed when I went there. It's on my bucket list of stuff that I need to do. In my creative test world, I kind of just winged this part of this build, so I'm not exactly sure how this is supposed to turn out. Something like that, I think. Since observatories open up, right here needs to be open up enough. So I'm thinking I'm gonna replace this entire part here with a bunch of stairs and slabs to make it look cool. Clearly, I'm not very talented at building an observatory when this is what I end up with. I'm not gonna do the inside of this observatory. It's never meant to be seen. I'm just going to do some basic touch-ups. I'm aware that this episode was a much shorter one, but I think I am happy with the touch-ups I've made, and now I'm going to head over to sleep and see what it looks like. I probably should have gone into this with more plans, and I probably should have built it bigger than it is, but hopefully from afar it at least looks semi-okay and semi-acceptable. As long as it looks semi-acceptable, it will be good with me. I mean, the roof looks a little finicky, but I dare to say that it does look kind of like an observatory if you squint, which is good enough to me. So that's going to be it for this episode. If you made it this far into the video, comment observe in the comments below. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. Now I know I didn't get any videos or uploads out last week. I don't know what to say. As soon as we hit 2024, it seems like my motivation for recording has kind of just dipped a lot. I probably drained myself too much in December. Anyways, welcome to episode 26 now. Heading into the sign garden right now to get your names down. Trying to figure out where we can put them. Looks like our only spots left are in these areas here. First up is Steve Dom. Then we have Flameboy YT. Mateo Lion SK, Sai the Crystal Ball, Sota, Crit Hall, Quadrilage, Snow Badnick Enjoyer, The Desolator, Patchy MC, and Nasos Botsis. New name, by the way, so thank you for watching. A huge thank you to these 11 people for watching until the end of the last 2 episodes. You guys are obviously absolutely amazing as always. Right, so today I'm actually going to get right into what we're going to be doing today. Down there I have the general stuff laid out, so I should be able to begin right away. As you can tell by the title and the thumbnail of the video, today I'm going to be building a modern house in beta Minecraft. Modern house building wasn't originally super popular in beta Minecraft, but I was inspired to do this by a Reddit post I found on r/goldenage Minecraft. The Reddit post, they showed their design for a modern house in beta Minecraft. So I decided with the blocks that we have in Better Than Adventure, I might as well try and make one as well. So I built one in my creative test world, and here's the blocks we're going to be using for it. I've already laid everything out to build this, and I have a bunch of photos taken to build it, so let's get right into making this. This is my own unique design that I came up with myself, so I'm actually kind of proud of it. As I'm building this, I want to thank you guys once again for the amount of support you've given me on some of my recent episodes. Our Steamboat Willie episode that we started the year off already has over 600 views, which is making it my best performing video of 2024. Not counting shorts, of course. Honestly, I made this build design a lot harder to build than I thought I would. I have plenty of reference photos, and yet I'm still struggling to sort of get the hang of it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I guess I just made it a lot harder for myself than I needed it to be. Another thing I'm realizing is that I haven't brought any dirt blocks along to build up. So I need to go over and grab that. Couple of things while I do this. I just want to say that I am still thinking up and cooking up ideas, not only for Better Than Adventure, but also for Foundations. I'm thinking up different ideas for this channel, and I also have to admit, I've thought about trying out some other things than just Minecraft. Minecraft is fun, but I can't just only do Minecraft, and I have another channel where I can do other content. So I would love to start making use of my other channels. I think I want to do a lot more Beat Saber stuff like I did originally on my VR channel. That would be very fun. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. And as you guys know, I've been heavily obsessed with anime in the last couple of months, and especially this season, this winter 2024 season, there are some great animes. One of my favorites is The Unwanted Undead Adventure. There's also Solo Leveling, of course, Mashal, and most of them come out on Saturday and Sunday. So if I'm being honest, I spend a lot of my time on my weekends watching anime and just relaxing because of the amount of schoolwork that's being thrown at me, rather than recording videos. If you guys don't remember, I told you guys that my main time I have to record videos is the weekend. And the only reason I'm able to record what I'm recording right now is because we have a 3-day weekend. So I have just that bit of extra time I can use. But if it wasn't for the 3-day weekend, I honestly don't know what I would do. This design turned out really well in my creative test world, so hopefully I can replicate it well here. But I'm just not too sure if I can. Time to go and sleep. Guess I should mimic it on this side. I gotta say, what do you guys think of modern builds in Minecraft? I'm not exactly sure why they're called modern. Is it because these kind of look like those houses in like Los Angeles and other super rich areas? Because like these don't look modern to me. These are just like an archetype. It's a type of architecture, I guess. So like, is modern the name of an architecture type? Speaking of modern architecture, what's your guys' opinion on like modern architecture like this one? Would you live in a house like this in real life? These super fancy, almost like these super fancy minimalist houses like this. Would you live in one of these? I wouldn't, because even though I'm a huge fan of minimalism, it doesn't feel like something you should bring into your home, you know? Currently trying to think of topics that I can talk about with you guys, and I'm honestly coming up with a blank. I don't know what to talk about. I know. So, as you guys know, I'm a huge virtual reality nerd. I love VR and just tech like that in general. My question is, what do you guys think of the new Apple Vision Pro? Apple's new $3,500 device. Personally, I think it's kind of ridiculous. It's extremely overpriced and extremely useless. But that could just be me, so I'm curious what other people think about the price and like what they offer for that price. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the idea of the Apple Vision Pro. Not because I find it dystopian. In fact, I'm actually a huge fan of AR and MR and mixed reality and whatever, like Apple likes to call it spatial computing, I think. I'm actually a huge fan of technology like that, so that's not the reason I dislike it. I dislike it because Apple is acting like it's their own original technology. I mean, Apple does this with everything, but I feel like it's especially harmful for virtual reality since it was a huge niche before Apple walked in. And it's still a niche, even with Apple in the industry, but at least we've got other people, we've got other eyes on it. I do think that the Apple Vision Pro will still have a positive impact on this technology and stuff. Like, I think that it's still positive. I don't know. It's a very interesting topic, and I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on, like, the Apple Vision Pro. Is it super dystopian? What do you guys think of it? It looks like a goofy pair of ski goggles to me, so that's why I'm not necessarily a huge fan of its design, especially considering it's Apple. I expected more from them. I think I'm good to get rid of this square here now that I have all of this. When it comes to modern house designs, they always seem to be super, like, open air with a lot of windows, and I feel like in a rich neighborhood, maybe you're fine. But can you imagine living in a modern house design like this in, like, a suburban area? You would have, like, no privacy whatsoever. Starting to get dark again, but before it does, I think I'm gonna see if I can build a spiral staircase. I'm actually really struggling to commentate for this episode. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm genuinely stuck. This is the first time where I'm just genuinely stuck. Usually I can at least come up with something, even if it's just total BS. I can come up with something to talk about. That's not the case here. I just genuinely can't think of anything to talk of. I'm not exactly sure. Like, look at me. I'm having a conversation about not having anything to have a conversation about. I'm at the lowest of the low when it comes to coming up with something to talk about right now. You know what? Okay, I'll ask you guys the question of, do you have any ideas for furnishing this place? What do you guys think? If, like, since I can't ever think of any topic ideas, maybe I can do, like, some answering questions sort of thing, like a Q&A thing. Drop me some questions in the comments down below, and I will answer them in the next episode. That way I have something to talk about in the next episode. This entire episode is just gonna be me talking about how I have nothing to talk about, isn't it? Now we have a path that goes all the way over to the modern house over here, and to be honest, I used a lot less materials building this thing than I thought I would. But that's going to be it for this episode. If you enjoyed, please be sure to check out my other content. I don't usually ask this of people, but if you've made it this far into the video and you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Comment modern in the comments below. The first person to comment modern in the comments below will get this modern house named after them, and every other person, including the first person also, will go into the side and garden as always. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. So, last episode did absolutely amazing, getting about 3 times the normal views that I usually get on a Better Than Adventure episode. And there's now a lot of you guys here that are new thanks to the recommendations. Also, that Steamboat Willie episode we started off the year with almost has 1,000 views, which is just insane. This year is turning out to be a great year for the channel. And with that being said, we should get right into the sign garden. First up, we have Crit Hall. Next up is Hey Andresito. That's a new name, so thank you so much for watching. Then we have Sota, Mateo Lion SK, Judd Samurai, Steve Dumb, Dazblade, Quadrilage, Snow Badnick Enjoyer, and finally, The Desolator. A huge thank you to these 10 people for watching until the end of last episode. You guys are absolutely amazing as always. So, today, I want to build a schoolhouse, as you could probably tell from the thumbnail and title. This schoolhouse is actually going to be heavily based off of Wells Knight's 15-minute build series schoolhouse. If you guys don't know, Wells Knight is a member of the Hermitcraft SMP, and I'm following a tutorial of his from 9 years ago in which he built a schoolhouse. I've only changed a few things, so his tutorial will be in the comments. Wells Knight is one of my childhood YouTubers. His 15-minute build series is one of the series that I actually got into building in Minecraft with, so it's very nostalgic for me to now actually be building one of the builds that he built in my own world like this. The first thing I want to do is get the foundation of the entire build down. Luckily, I laid out a bit of dirt to let me know like how much area this build is going to take up, and all I need to do is build the foundation like this. And then before it gets completely dark, we can then take this down. Cool, now that we have the dirt taken down, I should probably go ahead and sleep. As I head to sleep here, I guess I should answer some of the questions you guys left in the comments last episode. Feel free to leave more this episode, by the way. Anything you want me to answer, I'll try to answer in the next episode. The first comment is from Crit Hall, and he asked, what other games are you planning to play? This is a great question. on my main channel here, I'm probably just going to stick with Minecraft. However, I do have another channel in which I want to try out some other games, and I will occasionally play some other games on the main channel here. For instance, some Phasmophobia, maybe some Lethal Company, and other games like that. But I will be playing them with the people that I play Minecraft with, so it'll still kind of be tied to my Minecraft content. This Wells Knight build is a very old school style Minecraft build. It's not the best, and I actually am really happy with that because it sort of meets the style that this series goes for. I actually stumbled upon this build randomly, and then I recognized the name Wells Knight, and I was like, wait a minute. I watched this tutorial a long time ago. The last time I watched a tutorial like this, I didn't even have a proper Minecraft account. I was pirating Minecraft, so that's kind of funny. And not only that, it was before I even had a proper YouTube account. I was just using YouTube on my school's email. Ah, the bane of my existence just started in Minecraft. It's raining yet again. Funnily enough, it also started raining when Wells Knight was building this in his tutorial, so maybe it's just this is a cursed build and it starts raining whenever you start building it. When it starts raining like this, I just get grateful that I don't have the rain sound on, or right now I would be absolutely deaf. Honestly, rain in Minecraft is just like one of the banes of my existence. It never comes on when I want it to, and so it's like, what the hell, Minecraft? The fact that I'm currently following one of my childhood tutorials and building it in my own world like this is just amazing. If you told me this 9 years ago when this tutorial came out, that I would be building it now, 9 years later, I wouldn't believe you. If you're curious, I actually built this in my creative test world first so that I could mess around with the build palette, and that's how I came up with what I have and why it's different from the one in the tutorial. I just didn't want to get the materials needed to get bricks, so I decided why not go with red wood, since most schoolhouses seem to be made of wood anyways. And you know what? It actually kind of worked. Ooh, and I just realized before it's too late, I need to catch myself in the act. I need to take these sides down. In his tutorial, he doesn't do this, but I thought it would look nicer if the outline was in stone bricks. So while I build this, I guess I should answer another question left by Sota in the comment section of my last video, and that was, what is your opinion on tools like artificial intelligence? I kind of have a hot take opinion on artificial intelligence, and that's that it's not that bad. I think it's being overly exaggerated. Well, yes, there's definitely a lot of cases in content generation using artificial intelligence where it just straight up steals another person's work, and that is not okay. There's also generative AI stuff that pulls from the public domain. So that means that it's not all bad, and it's just up to the generative AI software you use. I often use artificial intelligence to name my videos. When I'm trying to name a special or like something that's off like the normal episodic series stuff I do, I usually ask artificial intelligence to help me name it. And this is a little bit of a secret, but I'm kind of open about it. Whenever I'm doing homework, I don't use artificial intelligence to give me my answers. That would be cheating. However, I do use artificial intelligence to help me organize my homework. For instance, in my AP US history class, we have to take notes, and artificial intelligence has really helped me organize my notes in a way that's actually usable when we get to a test. So yeah, artificial intelligence isn't all that bad. It can help take work off of a person. It can help speed up processes that would have otherwise taken much longer without the help of AI. And actually, fun fact, artificial intelligence has been used for a while in creative processes. Like, if you've ever written a novel, or hell, even read a novel that's been made in the last 20-ish years, it probably had artificial intelligence help write it. And what do I mean by that, you may ask? Well, for example, autocorrect is actually an artificial intelligence tool. It's a tool that we all take for granted, and one that pretty much every single writer uses. The same with tools like Grammarly, which is definitely more artificial intelligence than normal autocorrect. But in general, these tools can't all be bad, and artificial intelligence can be used to help speed up workloads and make things a lot easier on the creative person. I do think there is a limit to the use of artificial intelligence, but for the most part, I think it's very beneficial, and I think its development and its future development is definitely interesting. For example, there was a recent development with a video creation artificial intelligence that kind of scares me, but I think will be very helpful for creative people who cannot afford to purchase stock footage, because this AI can generate its own videos, and it can pass off off as stock footage without having to pay for stock footage. Alright, I ran out of stairs, so I decided I'm just gonna go sleep so that I can get rid of both of this rain and the nighttime. You know what's funny? Because I built this build in my creative test world using the tutorial before I built it here, I've actually not looked at the tutorial yet once in this video. I've built this all by memory, so clearly Wells Knight's tutorials are really good, and you guys, if you haven't yet, he's probably one of my favorite hermits just for his really chill vibes he gives off, and he also has a lot of great content on his channel from old tutorials that you could just watch. He has this entire playlist on 15-minute builds, which for someone like me who is always low on time in my world, 15-minute builds is a lifesaver. Another question I was given was, are you secretly planning a black and white area? From Judd. I really like that idea. I'm definitely not doing that now that I've built this colorful red house in the area that he said was all black and white. But I do really like that idea, and I think I should, like, put a little border here or something and just start building in black and white in those trees over there. You got like a 1920s cinema area of our build, you know? Come and check out the Better Than Adventure Nickelodeon. But yeah, that was definitely not my plan when I was building that area, but I do really like that idea, Judd, so all credit goes to you for that idea, but I'm definitely going to implement that sometime in the future. Right, so we are almost finished with the outside of the build. In Wells Knight's tutorial, he uses golden blocks for the bell, but I do not have enough gold for that, and the gold texture in this version does not look very appealing. So I'm actually just going to use some orange, and I'm gonna see how this looks. If one of you guys has a better block for me to use as the bell, please let me know. So now I'm gonna start moving into the interior. As I replace this floor, I guess I should answer another question that one of you guys left in the comments last episode. And this is a question from Steve Dumb. His question was, how many Better Than Adventure episodes will you make? Now that is a very good question. To be honest, I'm hoping to just make as many as I can. Hopefully I can follow a once a week schedule on Better Than Adventure. But if not, I just hope that I can upload for as long as I can with Better Than Adventure. As I build the inside roof of this, I should answer yet another question from one of you guys last episode. And this question is from Quadrilage. And he asked if I know of any ARGs. My answer to that is no, absolutely not. I really don't follow that stuff much, so not really. The one that you mentioned, I'll check it out. The only ARG that I can say I know about would be the Wilbur Soot Jack Suts That Life one, because I mean I was there when that happened, bro. That stuff was so long ago. When Wilbur did that ARG on Jack Suts That Life's channel, I did not even know what an ARG was. But yeah, that's basically the only ARG that I can say that I know of. I don't really pay attention much to other ones. I know I've watched videos on other ones, but I can't name them, nor can I say what they were about. I just know that I liked the video and moved on. For this build, I'm actually going to be using glowstone for the first time in a while. So welcome back glowstone to my builds, and that's because we needed some sort of light in here, and glowstones are the easy sort of light to add to the top of this. I guess I should also try to make some student desks in here. I don't know why, but that just kind of reminds me of a teacher's desk sort of desk. And then I can put the teacher's chair right there. Same with the students for their chairs and desks. I think I'm just gonna have to kind of go like that because this is easy and simple and still sort of resembles a student desk. Mostly like one of those all-in-one desks, if you know what I'm talking about. If your school had one of these and you know. Maybe it's just American schools that have these. I'm actually kind of curious now. Did your school have one of those all-in-one desks where the chair was connected to the desk? So with that, we have one last question to answer as I head over to the bed to sleep. And that is, what other franchises are you interested in? From Snail Badnick Enjoyer. This is also a great question. Games-wise, I really haven't played a lot of games. I'm trying to get into playing more now that I've bought a laptop that can play some games. Some of my favorites when I was younger were definitely like Call of Duty. I also played a lot of Saints Row 4. Grand Theft Auto, I played a lot of that, especially Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I played a lot of that. Honestly, trying to name a franchise, movie, or game in general, and the top of my head is really hard, except for some of the most popular ones like Star Wars, there's Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones. I grew up on those movies, so I really like those. A more niche franchise, I mean, I probably know about some, but I just can't name them. So that's all I have on the top of my head for that question. Thank you for asking those questions. And if you have any more questions you would like me to answer in the next episode, please leave them in the comments down below. I think the schoolhouse actually turned out looking pretty good. I'm proud that I even did the inside of the schoolhouse, which is something that I did not do in my creative test world, so I'm really happy with how that turned out. I think I might want to add like a basketball course or a tennis course behind the schoolhouse, maybe a playground of some kind. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see that or if you have any suggestions. If you made it this far into the video, comment school in the comments down below so that I know you watched until the end, and I will put you in the sign garden in the next episode. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. Let's head right up to the sign garden. First up, we have Laser Blazer. Then we have Hey Andresito, Mateo Lion SK, Crit Hall, Coal Buster, Quadrilage, Joel Offers, Sota, Snail Badnick Enjoyer, Love Dust, Steve Dumb, Dazblade, The Desolator, Marie, and finally, Lukey Games. A huge shout out to these 15 people for watching until the end of an episode. Now, a couple of these people aren't necessarily from last episode. I just wanted to catch up on some people that have been commenting at the end of other episodes. So here you are. Though 15 people watching until the end of an episode is still insane. Today, we are going to be building a windmill. This windmill design is heavily inspired by the windmill built in Wells Knight's 15-minute build series. However, unlike last episode, I am not following a tutorial this episode, and I just sort of based my design off of his. I've already got an area laid out, so let's go over and see what it's all about. Now, I'm really glad that I'm building the windmill over here in this area, because if I'm being honest, I'm still not very proud of our observatory up there, and I'll be happy to have another build in here that I'm hoping I'll be proud of and that can sort of take away from the very looking observatory. Like, I'd rate that observatory like 5 or 6 out of 10. Not very good, but I mean, it filled in some space there and I put some time into it, so I guess I gotta say it's okay. It looks better from this angle than it does from down there. We are going to be putting the windmill right here. That's because this side is very heavy with builds, but there's nothing on this side of the mountain yet, so I figured I would build the windmill up here. I've actually left myself all of the materials that I'll need in this chest here. This is a pretty small build. It's really not that large, so hopefully that means we can get this done quick, because I'm actually recording this episode the same time I recorded a lot of other stuff, so I have quite a bit that I need to edit today. However, this episode is actually going to be on time for once, which is nice. As of recording, tomorrow is going to be the release of a special Foundations SMP video, so if you have not yet, please check out my previous video from yesterday. So here's the base of the windmill. You can tell it's actually pretty small. Now that I have the base, I'm gonna get rid of this dirt layout here, and the reason I put this down now in every build is so that I know exactly how much space is needed with a little extra so that I can have the build look nice and not squished. Honestly, it saved me a lot of trouble, so I'm pretty happy that I came up with this. If you go ahead and go watch Wells Knight's tutorial, you'll see like that mine is heavily based on his, but there's still a bit of differences, like mine is smaller. Funnily enough, his 15-minute build series still takes me like 30 minutes to build, so I need something even smaller so that I can build it quicker. As I head over to the lighthouse to go ahead and sleep, I guess I should ask you guys what you want this series to be, like in your opinion, because I'm noticing that my longer episodes seem to get more views and seem to get better recommended. Like last week's episode has over 100 views, but my episodes that are 6 to 8 minutes long usually get under 100 views. And my most popular episode of this year is over 7 minutes long. So I'm sort of starting to wonder, do you guys like the longer form episodes? And should I start putting more time into episodes rather than just rushing them out to follow a schedule? Let me know. Like, would you rather me upload, let's say I miss a week because it's a longer upload and then I upload a longer video? Or would you rather me upload every week? Going along with this, of course, if you don't know, I also do another Minecraft series on Minecraft Bedrock Edition, the modern version called Foundations SMP. It's an SMP with a bunch of content creators. If you haven't yet, please go check it out. Anyways, I haven't been putting a lot of time into Foundations SMP recently, so I wanted to ask you guys, if you would like to see more of that out of me, because it definitely seems like my Better Than Adventure series is performing better, but I'm having a lot more fun on Foundations. Like, just being able to play with other people is definitely a lot more fun. And I get to use ray tracing, which is pretty cool. The only thing that I like about this series more is that it's on beta Minecraft, which makes it a lot more unique than most series. So yeah, just let me know if you want to see more of Foundations. It's been a while since my last episode on that as of recording, so I do feel like I definitely need to get into it more. This build design is simple enough that I don't think I will even need to reference my photo much, because it's honestly probably the simplest but also best looking build I've done so far in my creative test world. And I have a lot of builds in my creative test world, so that's saying a lot. I have to say, I am still struggling to come up with episodes and like what to build and what to do, so if you have any suggestions that are simple, quick builds that you want me to do, please let me know. I'm down to building almost anything in my world if you ask me. I honestly think for being such a simple windmill design, this has turned out pretty great in my creative test world, so hopefully that means it also turns out pretty great in here. Unlike in my creative test world, I'm also going to try adding some windows to this build, and maybe depending on the length of the episode, I might even try to build the inside. And would you look at that, we're already almost done. Compared to the other episodes, this one is probably going to be a short one, so I apologize if it turns out that way. That is not purposeful, it's just dependent on the amount of time I have when I start recording. Honestly, one of the best parts about this build, at least to me, has to be the roof. It turned out a lot better than I was expecting, but now comes the hardest part about the build. It's starting to get dark, so I'm just gonna head back to the bed, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this yet, but if I haven't, please leave me any questions you have in the comments down below. It can be almost anything. Every episode, I want to be able to answer you guys' questions, so if you have any, please leave them in the comments down below. It gives me something to talk about, and it gives you answers to anything you want. I want to be close to you guys. I want you guys to... I just want to answer you guys' questions, and I want you guys to know me better, and I want to know you better. So if you have anything you would like to add in the comments below, please let me know. From afar, our windmill is already looking pretty cool if you ask me. It doesn't yet look like a windmill, but it will really soon. Alright, so this is the part where we're going to be using a lot of dirt to tower up and connect these areas here like this, so that we actually have a sort of thing to build on. And then from here, I'm going to be trying my best to copy the build I have. And honestly, this is a lot harder than it looks. Definitely the hardest part about this build is trying to get the windmills done. And you know what? I just thought of a conversation topic. Have you guys ever been up close to a windmill in real life? Most people would almost certainly answer no to that question, and that does include me. I've seen windmills like off the highway before, but I've never been right up close to one in real life. I know that modern windmills are used to generate electricity. Alright, there we go. That's one part of the windmill finished. Now I just have to do the other one like that. There's one half of the blades of the windmill finished. Now we move on to the other half here. You know, as I said at the beginning of this video is inspired by Wells Knights' build, and I gotta say, I'm surprised that until now I haven't used his 15-minute build series. at least for inspiration, because it's probably the easiest and best inspiration for my content style. And if you haven't yet, I really suggest you check out his 15-minute build series. It's a great way to learn the absolute basics of doing quick builds, and then you can improve upon it yourself and feel proud of your build without needing to start completely from scratch. Right, so now we have that part. Now I'm going to get part of the inside done. I feel like the inside would probably have oak, wood, and planks, so I'm going to use that for the bottom floor. So to those of you who answered yes to being up close to a real life windmill, have you ever been inside of one? Like, I know a lot of the modern ones, you can't really go inside of them, so there's probably a lot of people who have not ever been inside of a windmill. That's my next question. Have you ever been inside of a windmill? And if so, what does it look like inside? Because I've never seen the inside of the windmill, nor have I ever had the patience or curiosity to search up what it looks like on the inside. So honestly, now I'm kind of curious, but I don't want to search it up. So just kind of let me know if you've been to a real life windmill, what does it look like? And are there any windmills nowadays that are still made of wood like the one I'm building here is? Or are they all made of like those material that they're often made of? I forget what they're called, but there's like a material they're often made of nowadays. I think it's just plastic. I'm not sure though. I think now that we have this, we should add some windows. I think some windows can definitely help break it up a bit. I know windmills aren't exactly something you live in and they usually don't have windows, but I feel like it'll just fit better with this if we add windows. Yeah, I kind of feel like that helps. Although I also feel like it kind of ruins like the integral structure of it or whatever it's called, but whatever. Just look at that. From afar, it looks really good, especially like this. But even when I zoom in like this, it looks amazing. That's exactly how I imagined a windmill would look like in my world. So with that being said, that's unfortunately going to be it for this episode. Let me know what you guys think about longer form videos in the comments. If you think I should delay episodes, if I should try to make them longer. If you made it this far into the video, comment wind in the comment section below. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. So today's just another really simple episode, and I asked you guys last episode to ask me a couple of questions, so I will go over that. First, let's get into the sign garden. First up is Sota, then we have Quadrilage, then Hey Andresito, Crit Hall, Swift Dragon, Dazblade, Now Badnick Enjoyer, The Desolator, Steve Dumb, I shortened your name to Steve Dumb, Mateo Lion SK, Laser Blazer, and finally, Vespini. A huge, amazing thank you to these 12 people for watching until the end of last episode. You guys are amazing, just as always. Right, so today I have a lot to get into and a lot to talk to you guys about. First off, just from up here, you can see down there's a bit of a platform. That's where we are going to be going today, because as you could tell from the title and thumbnail, we are going to be building a Japanese style house. This is another build from Wells Knight's 15-minute build series. Honestly, I'm going back through this series and I'm really enjoying it. They're simple builds, they're easy builds, and they fit very well in the style of this series. Once again, it will be linked in the description. The first thing I will be doing, since I've already started this off, is building up here. This is going to be a very simple and very quick build. So I know last episode I asked you guys what type of content you prefer, and many of you answered, and I'm very grateful for that. However, I'm gonna have to let you all down today because this episode is going to have to be short. With that being said, last episode I also asked you guys to leave your own questions for me. The first question I got asked was from Hey Andresito, and it was, what would you rather prefer for your videos, long or short? Well, Andresito, that's a great question since I asked you guys, and I'm very glad that you're being considerate of me. And to be honest, I prefer more what you guys think, but in my opinion, I like these shorter ones, and it's not because I'm really happy when my video turns out long, and I like longer form content. It's just that I don't have the time. Nowadays, I just physically don't have the time to record super long videos, such as today, I am recording the day before this uploads. I'm recording the day before this uploads, which is just a crazy schedule for me, but I wanted to leave it this way because I just didn't have much time to record yesterday or the day before, and I didn't want to rush it. So just like the last episode, even though this is a Wells Night tutorial, I am still mostly going by memory. I just accidentally got rid of the last of my spruce logs. That means that I have to go over here and I have to go mine a couple of spruce. So, I guess as I go and I correct my mistake, I should answer the next question you guys left me. And that question came from The Desolator. It was, what made you decide to use this world for a long series? Well, The Desolator, that is also another amazing question, and I'm very happy to answer it. To be honest, it was mostly by random chance that I ended up getting this as my long form series. However, when I started this, I did plan to make this my longest going series. When I started this though, my longest going series was only 5 episodes long, so I really didn't have too high of expectations. I never expected that I'd be as far in as I am now. We're closing in on 2 years since I started this. I started this in August of 2022, and we're in 2024 now, so we're getting pretty close. Anyways, back to the question of what made me decide to make this my long form series. Well, In the first episode, I stated that I wanted this to be a nice and chill series where I could get along with you guys, and that's still what this is to this day. I stuck to that format. My previous series that I made felt very artificial. They felt very synthetic, and they weren't very fun, and they were very hard to do. In fact, I guess it's time that I come out and I say this. I cheated. In my first single player survival series world called Diamond's World, I cheated. I didn't have the patience to gather iron, and so I spawned in 64 iron into my world. I think that alone should have demonstrated to me that I didn't have the passion to start a single player world like that at the time. But I kept that going for a couple of episodes anyways. Did I have fun on that series? Absolutely yes. I'm still proud of it. However, I will say that I think it was immediately obvious that that wouldn't be a long form series. I think because of the style of Better Than Adventure and like just the feeling of this mod and being in beta Minecraft like this where you just have to go at a slower pace because you don't have things like Elytra, having that slower pace style is the reason I chose this to be my longer form. Now, did I ever expect to get this far? Oh no, absolutely not. However, it's all thanks to you guys who motivate me to keep going that I continue to upload the way I do. So thank you all very much. Without you, we wouldn't be where we are today. Lots of people would say that these episodes are just me going on ramblings while talking to you guys. And while I think you could consider that true, I think some people genuinely prefer that style of content. I know I do. This is the perfect type of content that I can play in the background while doing other work. This is the perfect type of content to play before I'm going to bed. The hyper edited stuff of YouTube nowadays is just a little too much for my brain most of the time. As I finish up building this platform here, I guess I should move on to the next question, and that was from Steve Dumb, and it was, what's one of your favorite video games? That's another great question. I feel like I was asked this before, but I'll still answer it again. Minecraft is of course my absolute favorite video game, and outside of Minecraft, I wouldn't consider myself too much of a gamer. I do play some other games. Like when I was growing up on console, I played a lot of Call of Duty, and I played this game called Saints Row 4. To this day, I still think Saints Row 4 is better than GTA 5, by the way. Another classic console game that I played a lot was actually Skate 3. It's a game that I grew up on, and to this day, I would still pull up and play if I could. You know, now that we have the shape of this down, I think we're okay to get rid of this grass here. Now, I have to admit, I am kind of tired as of recording, so I keep forgetting what I was talking about. So I kind of apologize if this video seems all over the place. That would be on me, literally forgetting what I was just saying. I don't know what just happened or why, but my brain just got absolutely scrambled. I don't remember what I was talking about or what I was doing, and I can't think of anything to talk about. I've gone through all of the questions you guys left me last episode, so I genuinely don't know what to do now. Look at that. We had perfectly enough fences to build this. That's pretty awesome. Okay, great. So this is where we're gonna need a heck of a lot of slabs. And we're going to need a lot of slabs because we are going to be building around the entire roof like this. So it seems that a lot of you guys enjoyed my last episode. It's currently at over 200 views, which I'm very grateful for. I'm very, very happy that you guys are supporting my content like this. So then we have bam, 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 bam. Yes, okay, that's it. And then this goes upside down like that. Now I just need to repeat that on this side. There we go. That's all of that side done. I think I've got the hang of this a lot quicker now. I have to say, of all of the designs on 15-minute builds, this has to be one of the best from Wells Night. So the one thing about having a consistent series like this is that I just don't know how to talk or do things. I have plans to build stuff like, look, I'm building this now. Crap, I ran out. Anyways, what I'm saying is I have things to build, but I don't have things to talk about. I'm going to go and sleep and grab the iron door, and we can finish this build off for the day. I have to apologize as I go back now with my door and having slept that honestly, I feel like this episode has a lot lot of cut off sentences and run-ons because I'm genuinely struggling today. I'm not sure what it is, and what I just realized is that I actually placed the wood up there wrong, so I do need to go back in there. There we go, finished it, and I just basically what I had to do was push it in one so that it lined up with the walls underneath, and now the Japanese house is finished. I've always wanted to build something like this in Minecraft, so I'm super happy that Wells Knight has allowed me to do this. And of course it starts raining as soon as we're doing the outro. Comment Japan in the comments below if you made it this far into the video. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. Today's the 30th episode, which is just absolutely insane. I never thought I would ever get this far in this series. Oh, and also last episode is doing absolutely terrific. As of recording, we're closing on 700 views on the last episode, which is just insane for just over a week. I'm sorry for not getting a Better Than Adventure video out last week. Unfortunately, I got sick around Tuesday, which is usually when I try to get it out, so it didn't really work out well. With that being said, let's get right into the sign garden. First up is Oculus, then we have Stevedom, Mateo Lion SK, Sota, Hey Andresito, Quadrilige, Zapper, Snail Badnik Enjoyer, Jambo, The Desolator, Vespine, Crit Hall, Ryan Hale, Dazblade, Sean the Cheap, Zero Lency, and finally Patchy MC. An ultimate thank you to these 17 people for watching until the end of last episode. That might just be a new record for this series. Last video did amazing and it wouldn't have gotten that far without you all, so thank you so much. Today I want to build a hospital. This is another build that is taken from Wells Knight's 15-minute build series, but this time I didn't even bother watching the tutorial, I just used his build for reference. But the link will be in the top of the description anyways. Okay, I've decided that I'm going to be putting it behind the little motels in the village. I've been building everything either over there, but I haven't built anything in this area where the trees are, so I mined out some trees, flattened out the area, lined it up, and here we have it. This is another area for me to build. Currently, this is just gonna house this right behind here with a path going from here, down here, and connecting with the path down here. But yeah, this is a really simple build from Wells Knight. Like, this couldn't be any easier, but it turns out looking like a hospital. I did change the build palette a little since obviously we're in modded Minecraft, so we have more options, and our wood color looks a little different than his, but I thought pink and white fit better for a hospital anyways. Right, so luckily since I'm building it right behind here, I can just go ahead and sleep right through here like this. Okay, so as I build this, I guess I should answer the first question you guys left me from last episode. Wait, something's up. Oh no, don't tell me. This entire row is wrong. I don't know how I did it, but it should be totally symmetrical, which means this should go to here and then down here like this, because this goes up and through here like so, and does that, so that we have 3 of the same windows on this side, and then we do pink right here. As I start building this, I guess I should start answering the questions you guys left me in the comments below. The first one was from Stevedom, and it was, will you ever bring a friend on the server? Another great question. Like, this is probably one of the best questions I've gotten yet, because this is a really interesting topic for me to discuss and talk about. My answer to that is, I would love to. It would be awesome if I could go Stampy's Lovely World style and start building mini games and have my friends play them, or maybe get some helpers to help build, and so we can start getting more extravagant with our building. But unfortunately right now that is not possible because we are playing on Java edition, unlike Stampy, which means that unlike Stampy, I can't just have people join my world, and in order for other players to start playing, I would have to start a server and move my world over to a server. Will I eventually do that? Well, I'm hoping to. My plan hopefully is that I can get an older computer computer and turn it into a Minecraft server specifically meant for this world only. So that way, when it goes down, it's just because of me specifically, and it's a private server, so I don't have to worry about fancy IPs or ports or plugins or anything like that. Just some basic stuff works. But yeah, that's the first question. My answer to that is no, not right now. However, I do want to do that in the future. It would be really awesome to show people my world. Building a simple build like this is actually really refreshing. I know you guys seem to appreciate it because every single one of my Wells Night 15-minute build series builds in Better Than Adventure has done incredible recently. I just really like building these simple builds, and I ran out of glass. Time to go get some. Yay. You know what? As I head over to get some glass because I ran out, I guess I should answer the second question that was left in the comments last episode. And that was, what are your future goals for the channel? Like, in a couple of years from now, how do you want the channel to end up? From Snail Badnick Enjoyer. Now, that is an amazing question. For me, I'm hoping that this channel by then will have over 10,000 subscribers, and I'm hoping that by then I'm gonna be enjoying life. See, the thing is, in like a couple years from now, hell, and even like 2 years from now, I'll have graduated high school, and I'm not sure where I'm going to college as of saying this, so I'm really unsure of the circumstances at those times, but I am hoping that I will be able to continue my videos no matter what college I go to. Videos wise, I think that in my opinion, I will probably still be doing Minecraft. Throughout the years of this channel, which I've been doing Minecraft videos and other videos on this channel for 6 years now, I've switched genres a lot. I went from Minecraft roleplay to Minecraft tutorial to Minecraft survival to Minecraft multiplayer to virtual reality YouTube shorts, which, by the way, if you don't know, about a third of my current subscribers come from one video, and that is a random throwaway 5-minute effort Beat Saber video that I posted on this channel. So I have tried and done a lot of things. I've played other games, I've played a lot of Minecraft on this channel, and my channel has evolved, my editing has evolved, my commentary has evolved. I've met new people, I've had some really cool opportunities. In general, however, I do think that in the end, I will still be playing Minecraft on this channel. However, I also like to hope that in a couple of years, I will have other channels. Heck, this might not even be my main channel in a couple of years. I'm really hoping I will start up the courage to start doing some virtual reality stuff on my VR channel again, because that was doing well for a while, and it would be really cool to be playing VR for a living. Minecraft YouTubers kind of get like the short end of the stick when it comes to sponsorships, when it comes to deals, products, or anything like that. You know, when you're a Minecraft YouTuber, you can't really get sent a product very easily, and sponsorships are definitely a lot harder on Minecraft videos than other channels. So I feel like if I wanted to do this for a full living, Minecraft would be a very hard thing to do unless I was able to piggyback off my friends or successfully do stuff. Speaking of friends, I'm hoping that in a couple of years I will still be making content on the Foundation's SMP. We just ran out of pink wood. That's not good. I have to go collect more. Luckily, I planted some after I harvested it off camera, so hopefully I can easily collect some. But back into what I was saying, I'm really hoping that in a couple of years, not only am I still doing Minecraft, but I'm enjoying it. Maybe I'll probably be majoring in computer science. Hopefully I end up with a well-paid job, maybe even YouTube as my job if I'm dedicated enough. In general, no matter how many breaks I take from this channel, I seem to always come back. So I feel like in a couple of years, I see this channel still going on. I see it continuing to push through. My upload schedule might still be sporadic, but I will continue to make videos no matter the circumstances, probably. Boy, was that a long-winded answer. You know, recently I've been adopting a new style of recording where instead of just recording for long sessions, it took me a while, but I finally have a keybind for the pause recording and the start recording buttons. So that means that I can easily pause my recording, and so editing has become a lot easier. My video Also, my raw video recording files have become shorter. And you know what? It's just a lot nicer. So if you use OBS and you don't use the pause feature, I highly recommend it. There we go. Got rid of the dirt because we do not need it anymore. All right, now I'm going to get into the most recognizable part of any hospital, and that is the cross logo. Making a cross logo in Minecraft is pretty easy. Just like that, I am done. Now I can move on to the other part of this, which is the surrounding roof. Once again, this is inspired and basically directly based off of Wells Knight's 15-minute hospital tutorial, so that will be at the top of the description. Wells Knight has now become one of my favorite go-tos when it comes to coming up with build ideas for this. But if you have any build ideas in the comments that you think I would like to do, please let me know. I don't really consider myself much of a creative person, so I struggle with coming up with ideas for videos, and I especially struggle with building in Minecraft, so I really appreciate if I have references. So coming up with anything, any ideas for building that are easy to make, I would really appreciate it. And there we go. The outside of the hospital is pretty much complete. I'm just gonna do some finishing touches. Now I have to get into the floor. I think I'm just gonna use the classic oak planks for the floor. As I mine this out, I guess I should get into the third question that you all left in the comments below. This one is from Jambo, and it is, what was the biggest gap between two episodes? That is a great question, Jambo. Considering you haven't been here as long as some of the other viewers of Better Than Adventure, you may not know this, but some returning viewers like Laser Blazer and Zapper may know that I started this series back in 2022. I got about 9 or 8 episodes in before I had to take what was basically almost a year-long break. I think it was something like 6 to 9 months. I'm not exactly sure the exact length, I forget. But it was a pretty long break. In that time, I really barely uploaded at all. That is definitely what killed off a lot of momentum for this series, because when I originally started this series, the first episode got 1,000 views within the first month, and the second episode and the third episode and everything followed that. And then I just suddenly stopped, and that killed a lot of the momentum. Unfortunately, those people that I lost all of those days ago haven't returned except for a rare few. So to those of you that can remember when the first episode came out, or the second or the third or the fourth or even the fifth, thank you so much for sticking around this long. You guys are amazing. But yeah, the longest gap was something like 9 months. Okay, so for the inside, I don't really have much planned, but I was thinking maybe we make little sectioned off areas, kind of like this, for the beds. And then I was thinking, I don't think I have it with me right now. I'm gonna go get some spruce wood, and I can use that for the front desk. There we go. Got some spruce wood and some other materials, as well as did the path here. So I was thinking for the front desk, where would it be? So obviously these are going to be the back patient rooms. I feel like a front desk would work like, you know, something like that. And then I grabbed this basalt bricks to use as a chair. I feel like that works as a front desk. Maybe we can have 2 front desks. Yeah, 2 front desks. I feel like that just works better. Now, right now I don't have torches to light it up, so I'm gonna go get those. But I guess I should move on to the next question before I do that. And the next question was from Sean the Cheap, and he asked, what is your favorite block? Well, Sean, I'm gonna have to go with brown wooden planks. In Better Than Adventure, it's brown wooden planks. In modern Minecraft, it's spruce. I use it in so many of my builds now that it's pretty much my favorite block, even if I don't know it. It's like subconsciously the block that I go to always. All right, now I'm going to go and get some torches, hopefully. There we go. I've done some very basic lighting. I feel like glowstone would fit best in a place like this, but unfortunately, I don't really feel like using my glowstone for this build. You know what I just thought of? Instead of using a normal door for these here, what if I used the glass trapdoors to make it look like there's a door here? And then like for this one, maybe it actually is closed. Yeah, I feel like that actually works really well. You know what? I just remembered. There is one last thing that I forgot about. It's a very simple thing, but it is a very important one. We have to place this here like this to level it out. There we go. And now this build is officially complete. Actually, I do have one more question. It comes from Patchy MC, and he says, what do you think of Patchy MC? Getting a little egotistical there, pal. Well, anyways, I think he's an annoying, squeaky little kid. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I swear I'm kidding. Patchy has amazing content, and in fact, you guys should go check him out at Patchy MC on YouTube. He's amazing. With that being said, I think that's going to be it for this video. We have fully completed the hospital, even decorated the inside a bit. If you made it this far into the video, comment sick in the comments below because we built a hospital for the sick and because this episode is late because I got sick last week. And that's the end of the saga for now. 30 plus episodes of Better Than Adventure have been released on my channel, and if you'd like to continue from here, episode 31 will be on the screen right now. Comment movie in the comments below because you just watched a second Better Than Adventure movie. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!